confusion and disbelief. A gas station in Oakland raided by dozens of robbers. The owner says police are not responding until several hours later.
Let's go to Oakland, California, where you see the effects of defund the police, the ire and hatred directed at them, combined with a woke DA that lets criminals off scot-free.
Things has to be fixed somehow. Things has to be, the citizen of Oakland has to have some security.
Thankfully, no one working in that store was hurt. So far, no arrests have been reported. Good evening on this Friday. I'm Christina Rendon.
And I'm Christian Captain. It all happened early this morning on Hagenberger Road in Oakland. New at 10, KTVU's Amber Lee spoke with the gas station's owner about what happened during that robbery and the changes he now says he wants to see. Right, Amber?
That's right, Christian. The owner tells me he's sharing his story and sharing the surveillance video to let everyone know how bad things have gotten, and he's demanding action. Surveillance video shows a brazen flash mob style robbery of the 76 gas station mini market on Hagenberger Road in Oakland. It happened early Friday morning around 4 o'clock. Dozens of people ransacked the store. Owner Sam Marday tells me the free-for-all lasted about 40 minutes.
This is the hardest thing you could ever go through, you know?
Could you imagine that? 40 minutes that they had to walk about, strew things about the store, destroy it, steal. And this is close to the airport where you know that there are police.
Especially if you've been put in sweat and tears day in, day out.
This 24-hour business was offering only window service during the overnight hours. But Marday says the thieves broke in through the front door while 2 employees were inside.
You can see the shattered.
Yep. They got mad that they weren't offering in-person service. Thus, they feel that they have the right to boot the door down and demonstrate the exact reason why they are trying to keep people outside the doors at night.
Glass right here. This is the way they entered.
He shared this video of the damage left by the thieves. They emptied shelves and display cases of merchandise, along with cash totaling $25,000 from the register and the ATM that had just been filled for the holiday weekend. Marday says he and his family had just taken over this business last August.
Building yourself for the last 10 months, and then you're back to square one.
He tells me he is.
I absolutely feel this man's pain. This is what happens when you have communists that believe that private property is the property of everybody. And thus these businesses will fail and there will be no one to serve the local population.
Is aware that this area is a hotspot for thieves because of its proximity to the Oakland airport, and travelers are considered easy targets.
I did not think it's this terrible. I thought maybe once every blue moon.
Marday suspects the thieves are people who participated in a sideshow in the area. He says police did not respond to the robbery until almost 9 hours later.
It's very disheartening. I'm scared to go out.
9 hours later, defund the police. Tell them that they're horrendous people, that they're deserving of death, and wonder when they don't serve the public to keep law and order.
After dark, and I don't know, it's alarming.
While we were at the store Friday afternoon, a police unit pulled up and parked in the lot. We were told it is part of the violence suppression unit stationed at known crime hotspots. City Council.
It's worked tremendously well.
Council member Treva Reed, who represents the area, issued a statement saying, in part, I continue to advocate and work to secure increased public safety resources and response, urging the mayor to prioritize our district's demands.
Well, as of right now, we don't see any improvements, not even a little bit. Hopefully, you know, the right people will hear this message and start making the right moves, you know, to save the city.
What are you going to do now, moving forward?
Rebuild and pray.
Council member Reed says more does need to be done and that those involved must be identified and held accountable. We also reached out to Oakland police. They've just gotten back to me. They say investigators are now reviewing evidence. Christian.
Shocking video, Amber. Thank you very much.
Held accountable. Who's going to hold them accountable? The woke DA, Pamela Price, that tries to let murderers off with a month sentence? That when a man was killed at Home Depot by thugs, tried to give them the lowest possible sentence possible and then sued a judge who stated that the plea bargain was not acceptable to her? This is who's going to hold these people accountable. This is California. This is woke. This is George Soros. This is communism spreading itself, subverting the city's apparatus for safety, the police, the destruction of the pillars that uphold our society today. And this is going to continue to happen until people realize that the Democrats that are ushering this in the name of social justice, that are being guilted into it, the same people that tell children that it's perfectly acceptable for them to understand that maybe they're in the wrong body, and thus we're going to chop off your gonads. These are the same people that are ushering in the destruction of these towns. How can property values maintain themselves? Maybe they're just trying to buy it up on the cheap after everybody leaves. But one thing's for certain, if you have a family, you cannot raise your children in such an environment of uncertainty, of thuggery, where this is smiled upon, where the police take 9 hours to show up. 9 hours. And a police report will be filed and nothing will be done. Even if these criminals are identified, once again, Pamela Price, the woke DA, will merely release them. The only choice that people have is to vote differently. This is their only choice, or stage a violent, I'm not advocating it, but at some point, one has to be able to protect themselves from the authorities that are destroying everything that you worked for, as this gas station owner has, that are allowing this to take place. And mere prayers will not suffice, because these people are godless, and thus your prayers will fall on the deaf ears.